Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast which we smash apart the films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1-minute chunks so we can analyze them in scrupulous detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Road to Infinity podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco, and in the last minute we talked about getting into New York.
Mm-hmm.
This is part 2 of that.
That's right.
So there was one time, I want to say summer of 2001, and which was crazy because I was in New York City just a month before September 11th.
Wow.
And it was for Macworld. So I believe this was the 2001 Macworld. Was with a couple of friends. We were going because we had a little thing we were doing with IMAX and stuff and everything else. And I've been to a couple of the Macworlds there. It was a great time. We fly into Newark. We get in a cab. And the cab driver's he's a tiny bit reckless, okay? and I've talked about, we didn't take the bridge, but we were taking a bridge in, but it was one of the, I forget what bridge it was, but it was like one of those bridges that, you know, you're going up and then you're coming down, right? Mm. And he's flying. I will never forget this, right? All three of us are in the back seat of the cab. And as he peeks over the peak of the bridge, mm-hmm. we realize, traffic's backed up. We're going too fast. And he rear ends the car in front of him. He's not able to stop. Now, we weren't hurt. Fortunately, I mean, it was a good bang, but it wasn't a bang enough to where, and I'll just be honest, the three of us in the back, we were not wearing seatbelts because, cabs, right?
I guess
and that's wrong. Wear your seatbelts all the time, obviously,
yes.
but
mm-hmm.
anybody who's ever been to a big city, especially New York, you know what I'm talking about. So, hits the car, right? We just go, oh, wow, right? And I'll never forget
Only
this.
in New York, baby.
I mean, only in New York. We're not even in New York yet. We're like in the borderline between Jersey and New York. And so, we're just like, okay. And there's no place to pull over because I think it was like construction. There was a whole reason why this was a mess. So
you're telling me that there's a lot of construction on the streets of New York?
And the bridges and everything else?
What?
So the guy they just trade cards or something. That's it, whatever. He takes us to our hotel. So we get to the hotel, and he's like, you guys got to fill out this form. And I'm like, what's this form about? He's like, I don't know.
In case you, get whiplash.
It was an indemnifier. Exactly, right? So I just checked the boxes. I signed. I'm like, whatever, dude. I mean, we were fine. Thank goodness we were just fine. Everything was okay. But I never forgot, like, the two craziest cab rides I've ever had was that one, and there was one time in Chicago that it was just insane. But, yeah, like, okay, there are some cab drivers. And, of course, you can go over now, in modern times, the stories about Uber drivers, right? And Lyft drivers, okay. Wow, I mean, you get another job. Like, what are you doing? No, that's not the job for you. Don't do that. Anyway,
there's
had a little flashback in this.
Crazy cab drivers have become a thing because they're a real thing.
They're a real thing. Oh, yeah, that's not a trope. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
So I also laughed a lot in this minute, not only because of the crazy cab ride, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, we have a little pivot in tone here in minute 73 of The Incredible Hulk by Louis Leterrier from 2008. They're going for a little light comedy for the next couple of minutes. They're trying out some bits.
I got to tell you,
we haven't really seen that a lot from this movie.
And Betty, wow, Liv Tyler just nails it.
Yeah.
Adorable. You can put her right up there with Meg Ryan at her prime. Like, what the heck? No, I mean, really, like, especially in this minute, a little bit of the next minute, she's fantastic. Great chemistry. Great, just the timing of her comedy, everything.
Yeah.
Yes, just awesome. Anyway. We'll get into it. So we start off with that image of them. We wanted to mention this about the bridge.
Yep.
This
Cherry Street Bridge.
Exactly. We've seen this before in the movie. Mm-hmm. This is not the first time. When they first meet up, when they have their reunion, this is the same bridge that obviously not New York City. This is the bridge that scene was filmed on at the top. So again, more movie magic.
Right, exactly, movie magic. This bridge has been used in a couple other things before. It was used not only in the DC Universe series Titans, but it also was used in Police Academy.
I have to see that movie again.
The original Police Academy.
Police Academy?
By the way, it's even by today's standards, it earns its R.
So
just in case you want to decide you want to show it to your kids. Oh no, Police Academy is definitely an R. Even though they made an animated series out of it, it is an R-rated film and it earns it.
Yeah, those were different times, everyone.
Different times. Yeah.
Different sensibilities.
1980.
Yeah, different everything.
That's
different
right.
Everything.
So they obviously the whole driving their F-100 across the bay didn't work, so they have to find a different way. So they take the money that they have left and they use it to charter a boat to cross Upper Bay. As we see, then finally the camera pans up and we officially know where they're going, and that's to New York City, baby. The city's so nice they named it twice.
Can we say two things about the shots here?
Mm-hmm.
First,
sure, water's water, but boy, looks a lot like Lake Ontario, doesn't it?
Well, no, wait. Even before I get to that,
yeah,
the shot from the bridge is this gorgeous panning shot of a guy working with welding with a boat.
Right.
And then them down. I mean, it's a beautifully choreographed shot.
Yeah.
And you see Betty and Bruce with this guy, kind of a little bit away from the camera. Beautiful depth, beautiful composition. Just
nice colors and stuff too.
Yeah, wonderful shot. And then we go to this great. Then the two of them in the back of a little motorboat. And as you said, oh wait, where are they headed?
Yeah,
New York City. And clearly there's a couple issues. One, you mentioned the matte line when off mic and stuff.
Yeah, as they pan up, this is actually shot in Lake Ontario. As they pan up, you can see a clear matte line where like the CG starts of where they added in New York across the top. It's like if you freeze frame it, it's very clear. Yeah, it's like it's 2008. Like they did their best, and they figure, water's water. Like it'll just all blend together. But
this was actually a smartly done shot because you got the wake of the boat, in the foreground, and your eye is focused on the wake and focused on the boat.
Yeah.
And by the time it focuses on the skyline, the scene changes. So
you jump up to it's Lady Liberty, and like this must be New York City. Oh, we're in a different shot now. Right. Yeah. Because then they cut to stock footage.
Well, and here's the thing: when you look at a movie 1 minute at a time,
sure,
you notice other things. Here's the other issue with this scene: the detail in the Statue of Liberty and in the skyline completely doesn't jive with the aperture of the setting.
Oh,
I mean, you know, like there's no way both of those things are happening in the same shot, taken by the same camera. Like it wouldn't work out that way. So that's the other reason. It's almost like the skyline is in focus on one point, the boat and the wake in the foreground is in focus at one point, and the water in between the two not in focus. And that doesn't work that way. Yeah, cameras don't do that. I don't care how much tilt shift stuff you got. It's the opposite. It doesn't work that way. Yeah. So there's a couple of things you could easily pick up that it's a digitally composed shot. Still nice, but again, it's establishing shot.
Real footage of them on the water, real footage of New York. Is just they took them two different places and sort of stitched them together.
Exactly.
But then we got the nice piece of stock footage just to say, no, seriously, this is New York, guys.
New York City.
It's New York, guys. You got that? It's New York. Like, okay, we get it.
See Empire State Building. You can see the Empire State Building. You know what it is,
huh?
Right.
Big Apple, baby. So basically, Bruce and Betty's fun New York getaway is beginning. Yay! As we see them in front of a giant map of New York, just
that
like
is clearly labeled New York City subway.
Guys, it's New York. Are we establishing we're in New York because we're totally in New York? No doubt, right? Because look, there's a sign that says Chamber Street. Chamber Street is in New York, right? Actually, it is.
Sure.
I looked
and West Broadway.
This is Chamber Street.
Yeah,
Do you know why Chamber Street is called Chamber Street? Because Wikipedia told me. What? Chamber Street is named for attorney John Chambers, born in 1710, died in 1764. So he died young. He was an important parishioner at Trinity Church in Manhattan, which is still there to this day.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
However, that's not where we actually are.
Wait, where are we?
This scene was filmed in Toronto. This is Yonge Street, Yonge. Sorry, Canadians, if I'm mispronouncing that. It's all I could find. It's between Elm and Edward. This area was also used for a couple of sequels. Kick-Ass 2 and everyone's favorite, Short Circuit 2.
Oh!
Johnny Five needs more input.
Okay, now you gotta say, though, amazing, like
set dressing. Set dressing.
I gotta tell you, even if you're not looking at the map and you're not looking at the signs, that kind of looks like a street in New York City. Like I wouldn't think
really clean.
Well, okay, yeah, there's that.
Because Toronto.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and no smell-o-vision, so you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
That's why that New York is Gotham and Toronto is Metropolis.
Sorry, we love New York.
We love New York.
Yeah. We know. No, but it really does. I mean, seriously, again, not knowing this, think that was completely legit.
Oh, yeah. You'd have no idea that it was actually shot in a whole other country.
Right.
Like, it's like, no, we shot in, Indiana. We just made it look like New York. No, that's Toronto. So this is where we have our first little bit of comedy. The big comedy here. It actually, not too bad, too, because it's delivered very deadpan, both of them. Like, they don't try and be like, They basically just deliver this straight. And so Bruce says, when they're saying that basically they need to get uptown. And so Betty says, like, oh, it's a really long way. Like, maybe we should take the subway. And so Bruce says, me in a metal tube deep underground with hundreds of people in the most aggressive city on the planet? And then without missing a beat, Betty just goes, right, let's get a cab.
It really is.
It's pretty funny. That's a pretty good gag.
Well, it's funny
because they deliver it so well.
Well, because that's Ed Norton's specialty.
Yeah.
I mean, deadpan comedy, he's a master at.
Yeah.
And he just does it well. And right now, the two of them, they're on the same page.
Yeah.
In terms of the characters and everything.
We've seen them, actually, the two of them go through a lot of changes. Like, we saw them as the reunified couple. We've seen them as awkward. We've seen them, like, rekindle their love. We've seen them as the scientists. And now we're seeing them as a light comedy duo.
So we've come such a long way since that conversation in the hallway.
We sure have, right?
I was hoping we'd get a part 2 of that, but I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen.
We're in New York. Things move a lot quicker in New York. Thank goodness. So cut to a cab being driven by a madman, played by Maxwell McCabe Lokos. Sorry if I mispronounced the last name, but Lokos. It seems like Locos, right?
Yes.
He's got 44 acting credits on IMDb. He's a worker. Let's see. Some of the highlights are Killjoys, 12 Monkeys, the series, and he did an episode of Schitt's Creek.
Oh.
Yeah, that's got a lot of buzz going on right now because they just had their final episode recently. Right. I can tell you, Louis and Tim Roth are both big fans of his because they spent a good deal of the commentary just raving about him and how funny he was.
Oh, that's funny. Really?
Yeah.
Well, he's also a musician, too. He was in a garage rock band called the Deadly Snakes. And you know what his stage name was?
I don't know what his stage name was.
Age of Danger.
Oh, Age of Danger.
Right?
That sounds like a Marvel crossover, doesn't it?
Yeah. Pretty much. No, the guy sounds like he's a blast, right? So, I'm sure this was really fun. He probably wasn't actually driving that cab because that cab
exactly.
That cab was driven by a professional stunt driver.
That's right. To make sure not to hit any of the other cars that they paid to have be there.
So, okay, so crazy cab. So it cuts right to this crazy cab ride from hell.
Yeah.
The shots of the two of them in the back seat.
As we hear the Polar F5 beeping like crazy.
Okay, but just fantastic. And you don't appreciate this because you watch it. The scene cuts so fast.
Yeah.
Slow it down. Pause it.
Really, it's less than this minute that we're in. It happens that fast.
Their expressions are hilarious. Both
Bruce
of them. Ed Norton
desperately trying to calm himself down, and
he's just scared. And then and then you can see him just be like, okay, I gotta close my eyes and focus. And she's just like, what are we doing? And she's holding on to her seatbelt. It's really cute and it's very fun.
And then so the cab screeches to a halt, and they leap out, and then Betty loses it. And this is the best because we have not seen Betty like this at all. I mean, like we saw her yelling for her dad, during the Culver University fight, but she goes ballistic on this dude. Are you out of your mind? What's wrong with you? I mean, she goes all the way to the top and like just exploding with rage. It's really funny. And it's like, and you haven't seen that from Betty previously to this point, so it's like, oh, there's the Thunderbolt Ross in her.
No, and that's exactly what I thought. Again, we've talked about this like in all of these last couple minutes. But I just love it because it's not, how you think things like this, and we've talked about a little overacting previously in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure.
This is it's not overacted at all. No. It's completely well done and completely reasonable for what you just witnessed.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's really
I love it.
Funny. Yeah.
So what does the cab driver say to all this?
He says, and that's it, the minute ends. We don't know.
That's the whole minute?
He starts to say something, and then we don't know what the response is. So, in order to find out what his response is, you're going to have to tune in to minute 74.
I bet it's sorry.
Yeah. I am so sorry, lady. I didn't mean to. Please, no, keep your money.
Free. It's not what he says.
That's not what he says.
You really should tune in for what he says.
Yeah, you really hear what he said because, another first is about to happen in minute 74.
Pretty much.
So you're going to need to hear it. So, in the meantime,
Kyle, you know what?
What?
Well, you know, is there like a social platform where people want to rant and rave, almost a little bit like Betty does in that scene? Where would they go?
There is a place almost designed for ranting and raving.
Oh no!
Yes, it's Facebook.
Facebook.
But inside of Facebook, we have made a small island where like-minded fans can gather together and discuss things peacefully and talk about cool stuff and let us know about interesting trivia that we might have missed about Incredible Hulk along the way.
You know what it's like?
It's a beacon of it's a sanctuary in the middle of the madness.
Consider it a cave on an island.
That's right.
Away from the storms of insanity.
Yeah, and it's called the Marvel Movie Minutes and Next Reel Film Podcast Executive Lounge.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Right? It's just soothing to say it. And you can find it by going to a very easy URL, facebook.com/groups/thenextreel.
That's way better than the Sanity Cave. I don't think anybody... I wonder if there is a Sanity Cave on Facebook. We should look into that.
We should look into that. If not, we should probably claim it before someone else does.
Sanity Cave. Oh, boy.
So thank you all for listening. Join us back here for minute 74 to find out that cab driver's response. I hope you had a smashing good time. Until next time, true believers.
Bye.